Imagine with me for a second it's 1924. Prohibition's in full effect in America and you escape to Tijuana for a night of drinking and debauchery. But all those cheap tequila shots and donkey shows have you feeling a little peckish, so the chef whips you up a special dish. A Mexican salad comprised of crispy romaine lettuce, crunchy croutons, Parmesan cheese, and a creamy anchovy dressing? That's right next to the cheap prescription drugs and Donald Trump piñatas, Tijuana is where we find the very first Caesar salad. That's what we're gonna be making today, and yes, we're using anchovies. Let's not waste any time, let's get into it. The only thing we're actually cooking for this recipe are the croutons, so I've got my oven on 325 degrees, and we're gonna start with the bread. The better the bread you start with, the better the croutons are gonna be. If you're going for that terrible crouton vibe, you can use terrible bread. Not gonna hurt my feelings at all. I'm gonna make extra croutons because I know me and I know I'm gonna eat about half of these before they even make it to the salad. So start with 8 slices of bread and cut them into 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch cubes. You could do this any way you want. If you want to just do crostinis and throw them under the broiler, you could do that too. If you're using fresh bread, first tell it to behave. Second, put it on a sheet pan and let it sit overnight or in a 250-degree oven for 30 minutes. Once your bread's nice and dry, liberally coat it with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 10 grinds of fresh cracked black pepper, some kosher salt to taste, and then toss it all together to make sure every surface area is covered. Then put it back on your sheet pan and into your 325-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. If you have not made croutons at home before, you are missing out on some serious delicious points. You are not getting this at the store. Salad dressing is something that I feel like people skip a lot. It's super easy, so don't skip this part, do it yourself. First, we're gonna start with 2 cloves of garlic, a couple anchovy fillets, and some kosher salt. We're gonna make a quick paste. So crack open your tin of anchovies, try not to spill that fishy oil all over the place. Oh no! And we're gonna chop up our garlic, nice and fine, and then chop up 2 fillets of your anchovies. Chop them up together a little bit. And remember, those anchovies are already salty, so we're just gonna add a little pinch of salt for friction, and then using the side of the knife, we're gonna smash that into the cutting board until it forms a nice paste like this. By the way, this dressing could also be made in a mortar and pestle or a food processor. But being a recipe from the 20s, I figured let's just go old school with it, get rid of these, and use a bowl and a whisk. So anchovy paste goes in, along with 1 egg yolk. You could use pasteurized eggs if you're worried about salmonella. And then we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Get yourself a wet towel from the locker room and wrap that around your bowl so it doesn't move around while you're whisking. And I almost forgot, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and then slowly, 1 drop at a time, drizzle in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then you can add in your vegetable oil, streaming it a little faster and a little faster until it's a nice creamy consistency. Don't forget to taste your dressing to see where you're at before we finish it off with a little bit of Parmesan cheese, a few grinds of fresh cracked black pepper. Taste it 1 more time before you add salt, because that Parmesan cheese is salty. Alright, it could use a little bit more salt. And there you go, fresh, creamy Caesar dressing that you made from scratch. And now we plate. I'm putting this together on a plate because it's a little bit more photogenic, but the best way would be to toss it all together in a bowl to make sure each leaf is perfectly coated. Don't forget to finish with Parmesan cheese, and enjoy. Ah yes, the traditional Mexican enchilada that I ordered. The only thing I wish I had with this is a big glass of smashing the like button to help me with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a great deal. If you're the type of person that doesn't want to use anchovies in the dressing, I get not putting it on the salad, but they give it that tableside Steakhouse Caesar salad flavor. This is just so good. Thank you again for sticking with me for another episode. I'm Jim with Doesn't Pay Full Price, and I'll see you next time.